Try you.
Need to be.
Okay.
See, that's a myth.
Okay, which one you
You
have?
press the camera, babe. I think.
No, it's
No.
on record, just the flash on.
Oh yeah, well that's good.
Okay.
That's good because I'm
Flash
black. Yeah, no. We were talking about the Save a Lot, and then we talked a little bit about the fact that this place is a food desert over here on the southern sector of Dallas. I believe that we really need new, innovative ways of getting quality food to our elderly and our younger population over here. If that means using driverless technology as food stores, whereby we don't have to even go to the store. We can order our food through an app because we've been underserved. We are prime and ripe for new technologies to be tested out. You follow what I'm saying?
I understand.
That's what I'm all about. Let's go with new ideas. Let's go with new ideas for solving problems and creating solutions. But let's just not put a patch in a community that's bleeding, because we already pretty much bleeding to death.
Right.
Like you just said, we're in a food desert.
Right.
And when you don't have proper food, you don't have proper water, like we have in District 8, where we have hundreds of families that's been without water for 30 years here in Dallas, teeth are falling out, improper nutrition. All that stuff happens when you don't have quality foods and services like they do on the north side. You wind up going to a fast food restaurant for your dinner instead of going to the finest steakhouse like they doing in Frisco.
And we barely have fast foods around this area too.
Well, speaking of that, over on this side of town in District 8, there has not been one single hotel new, one single office building new, one single restaurant new built in this community in 60 years. 60.
I believe that my grandparents, before I moved here, they've been here, what, 30-some years, over 30-some years, and it's basically still the same.
Same thing. So if you had something to say to what you do, to the people that be watching this, about making a change and knowing what you know about politics now and the influence of money, knowing that the North Side elite bought the last election, basically sold your vote on the horseshoe to the highest bidder, which is your current councilman now. We have a situation now where we have incumbents trying to come back after 8 years of being on the horseshoe. Do you think it's fair if you haven't seen anything in 8 years, you're going to see something different from someone who just left and they get elected for another 2 years? You think you're going to see something different?
No, not at all. I don't really see anything different with the ones that we have had. You know, I hear the talk, I do. And the talk sounds good. It really do. But the action don't match up. That's the thing. You can talk good, and I feel as the community it have to be more of us young. The young population have to get out, because the elderlies don't, you know, they save their time. It's basically our time to do what's right for them, you know, and research our own. That's what we have to do. We don't research for ourselves. We listen to what okay, he said this, he said that, so he gonna do this, or he gonna do that, or she, you know, gonna do this, versus researching it for ourselves. That's just like the same thing with the school. I just believe that a lot of us didn't research it. It was just, hey, you don't want this in your area. They want to buy up this area. They're going to buy up this land and do this and do that, versus let me read on what this school have to offer for my child, you know. And I think it's just we have to have more of the young generation. You have to care about how you see your kid, your child in the next 10, 20 years in this community, if you plan on staying in this community.
And if you want it to stay like this.
Or if you want it to grow. I mean, I would love to see this community do so much more and offer much more than what is going on now. And even when it comes to kids, when it comes to more after school programs or things like that to help these kids. Job training. I know I made a suggestion as far as young ladies having a resource of, you know, things that we might need. People don't, they want to say, okay, we need job training. True enough, but what about everyday living training? Know how many of us don't know how to
Live.
live on our own, don't know how to sew a button, don't know how to cook, don't know how to, the basic living things that you need. I see it is essential to have a job. It is to have job training, but at the same time, it's essential to have family training. You build up more families at the same time.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, that's some food for thought for real there. I mean, I'm definitely use that one in my campaign because that's something that addresses men and women, but in particular women.
Right.
Because
And the men's also,
Yeah.
how many young guys do we know how to put a towel on?
Yeah, don't even know how to do it.
Don't know how to put a towel. How
Yeah.
many know how to
Life
change
skills.
a tire?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are things that we need. The kids need also,
So how would you propose someone go about implementing something like that? I mean, a person that's elected to office,